right, it is Overreaction Sunday. Michigan beats East Carolina 30-3. And look, I mean, the second quarter, the third quarter at parts were really good. I think the first 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes of the game were like, what are we doing here? The last 7 to 10 minutes of the game, it's like, what's going on? I think the wheels started to fall off a little bit on the game yesterday. It was like, well, this could be 60-0 versus it just turned out to be 30-3. It was the Donovan Edwards 3 tries from inside the 5-yard line and the JJ McCarthy fumble. And it's like, okay, cool. Let's just get out of this game. You don't want any injuries. JJ took a shot at one point when he got flipped over on a targeting penalty. So it's like, let's not have any more injuries. The team already was missing 3 starters to begin the day. Michigan wins 32-3. The star of the day, and hell, I mean, there's a lot of stars yesterday in college football. Colorado, they had a lot of stars. And plenty of other teams did across the landscape. But JJ McCarthy, from a completion percentage standpoint, one of the most impressive games in the history of this program. And had Michigan had a more aggressive passing attack, and if this game was against, let's say, Maryland instead of East Carolina, maybe JJ McCarthy was 36 of 41 for like 395 and 5 touchdowns. But nevertheless, he came out of the game towards the end of the third quarter, and he was the star of the day for this team. So let me know if you guys are riding with me. I think it's national title or bust. Jack and I, a.k.a. Young Harbaugh, will be rocking this. I'm going to wear one, right? We gave this helmet away to John Blaze during the live stream on Saturday. We're going to be in Houston, 3 hours away from where our studio is in Dallas, Texas. National title or bust. I think I saw enough from JJ McCarthy to think, look, this is a player who can take that big level up. I'm talking about Joe Burrow 2018 to 2019. I am talking about, plenty of other guys in the great history of college football who have taken that year 1 to year 2 big step up, be the kind of player that can lead Michigan to a national championship. So if you're with me, I'm still sticking with it. Give me a go blue in the comment. My first overreaction and the segment today, folks, you remember from last year, I hope. You remember from 2021. It's Overreaction Sunday. And these are not my overreactions. I'm not sitting there and saying, this is JJ's team or this, that, the other. This is after the game, Saturday night, Sunday morning. Here is basically my 5 top things I am seeing consistently across social media, on articles, what I'm seeing on Big Ten Network, et cetera, on this Michigan football game. Number 1 overreaction is this is JJ's team. And this is what I actually agree with. I mean, I have some concerns about Blake Corum. He looked a little slow. I thought Donovan Edwards had his probably most underwhelming performance of his Michigan career, where he got plenty of play. The defense, okay, cool. You only gave up 3 points, gave up a shutout on the last play of the game as East Carolina were complete cowards and snapped the ball with 5 seconds left and kicked a field goal to not be shut out against Michigan. But I can see that this one has some things to agree with. I'm going to jump more into the JJ McCarthy story, what we think we learned from him here in a second. But we have a new segment here in the Michigan Football Report every Sunday. And hell, we're going to talk about more during the week. Once I have a chance to look at the film, this could change. But you guys might know the meme of that high school kid from like 4 or 5 years ago where he's kind of reading his running backs. Like, let's talk about the third rib. There's R.J. Hale, dog. Evan Linker, dog. Jack Lotteray, dog. Jake Reepma, man, I didn't even know he played running back, but he's a dog. These are my dogs. If you're a dog, you're a dog for life. You cannot get a dog taken away, but it takes a little bit to earn the status of a dog. From the instant reaction, seeing some stuff on Saturday, watching a little film Saturday night, Sunday morning, these are the 3 guys who have cemented themselves after one game as Michigan football dogs. JJ McCarthy, dog. He had a hell of a game, 26 of 30. Man, what a performance from JJ McCarthy. Roman Wilson, dog. What a game by Roman Wilson. He is JJ McCarthy's top target in the red zone, in the deep threat. 3 touchdowns for Roman Wilson. And Josh Wallace, I didn't even know he played for Michigan. Isn't he a UMass guy? Don Brown guy? He's a dog. Josh Wallace is a dog. JJ McCarthy, Roman Wilson, Josh Wallace, those are Yoder's dogs. Every player who makes an impact for this team, you better get to that stats by the Ohio State game, okay? By the Big Ten championship game, by the college football playoff. If we don't have 25 or 30 dogs by that time, something's gone drastically wrong with this team. It takes a lot for you to become a dog on this program. And those three players, JJ McCarthy, Roman Wilson, and Josh Wallace, those are my three dogs after one game Michigan football report. Take a look at the stats here for McCarthy, 26 of 30. One of the great efficiency performances in the history of this program. Yeah, no, East Carolina, whatever. Okay, cool. Hook 'em. It's fine. Only 4 incompletions. 1 or 2 of them could have been caught. He could have been 28 of 30, right? And if Michigan had been more aggressive, maybe that's more like 34 of 36 and like 350 and 4 touchdowns. Roman Wilson, nice game by him. My biggest complaint last year on Michigan's coaching staff, how you use players, and maybe it's because of what Roman Wilson did, is for most of the year, even though he was a starter, he was always like 4th or 5th in snaps played from the wide receiver position. Andrew Anthony, who Michigan, we all know what happened to Andrew Anthony. He didn't really work that hard. Had himself a nice game yesterday for Oklahoma. Nevertheless, Roman Wilson would always play like 24, 25 snaps. You look at it. Ronnie Bell, 60 snaps. Cornelius Johnson, 49 snaps. Andrew Anthony, 32. Okay, cool. Roman Wilson, 24. I never understood it, but him and JJ have just filled that rapport. They played well together against TCU. There should have been better stats than it came down to it. But Roman Wilson, 3 touchdowns in the season opener. He's a dog. JJ McCarthy was repping Jim Harbaugh in this game afterwards in the press conference. Here's what he had to say about Jim Harbaugh and why he wore the shirt that we're talking about in a second. You see it there in the field, the free Harbaugh shirt kind of in the background. He said, and I quote, "I just want my coach back. I want my coach back." JJ McCarthy. Okay, there's the shirt he wore getting off the bus that made its rounds in the pregame on social media. He took a Jim Harbaugh kind of jersey, t-shirt jersey, flipped it around. So the Harbaugh's in the back, the 4's there. It's kind of ironic, Jack. It could have been 4, could have been the games he suspended if it would have been originally, but now he's suspended 3 games, so it could have been like super ironic. But he just tossed a little free Harbaugh across there. JJ McCarthy repping Jim Harbaugh. They didn't have any problems. Jesse Minter, by the way, gets the record. It's going into the NCAA record books. 1-0, best winning percentage of any coach in college football history. He's tied with about 75 other guys as an undefeated college football coach. Congrats and shout out to Michigan's DC and interim head coach Jesse Minter. My overreaction to number 2, the offensive line. Oh my God. Drake Nugent, he's a bum. I saw that a bunch. I didn't necessarily agree with that. Miles Hinton's getting knocked off the ball all the time. I do agree with some of that. We came to you guys on Wednesday, Thursday last week, or a couple days ago. We said, look, we know we had Carson Barnhart, the right tackle starter, Ladarius Henderson at left tackle. Boom, Carson Barnhart's moving over. That's Trente Jones at right tackle. And then a day or two before the game, it was like, look, we can't deny it anymore. Miles Hinton is your right tackle. He got the start. 2 Stanford offensive linemen, Drake Nugent, Miles Hinton. They were your starters. Trente Jones got in the game a lot. I thought I saw, and I'm not an offensive lineman savant, I thought I saw Miles Hinton get knocked off the ball much more than I thought. I didn't notice Drake Nugent as much as I thought. People on the internet, they were freaking out. Drake Nugent's a bum. I didn't see it as much, but the proof might be in the pudding, right? How about the running game? I thought JJ McCarthy could have potentially masked the struggles of the offensive line. McCarthy rolling out, Jack, I don't know. You tell me, Jack. You've only been a Michigan football fan for 2 seasons, right? Now he's the biggest one in the history of the world. My biggest thing about JJ is he can mirror and mask and hide some deficiencies in the offense because he is so good, and this is an underrated part of his game. JJ McCarthy is so damn good at avoiding the rush. He is so good. You get somebody coming up here, he just steps up. You get somebody coming this way, he's going to roll out this way, and he's always looking downfield. It's so good that he maybe is mirroring, masking some of the offensive line continuity deficiencies that Michigan potentially could have shown Drake Nugent, Miles Hinton. I thought the interior guys, Zach Sinter, etc., but the running game in general, I thought was kind of poor. It wasn't awesome. I thought the passing game was much more impressive for Michigan than the running game. What I did learn from this game, though, is that even though Roman Wilson and JJ McCarthy were the stars, I think these 5 guys we'll toss on screen here, are, in my opinion, there's 5 players for Michigan from the skill position that are clearly the best players that this program have. All right, Donovan Edwards, Blake Corum, Cornelius Johnson, Roman Wilson. I was surprised both played. Tyler Morris, starting wide receiver. There's 3 starting wide receivers in this offensive set. Morris didn't play. JJ McCarthy's high school teammate. Roman Wilson, Cornelius Johnson, and Colson Loveland. This is not a surprise. These are all returning players. A.J. Barner, I don't think very, very impressive. He actually, not very impressive in route running. Also, I thought he kind of struggled in pass blocking as well. Michigan should have these 5 guys on the field as much as humanly possible. I don't know if they're the best 5 in college football from a skill position player, but those 5 plus JJ McCarthy, I might take those 5 plus JJ McCarthy, that 6-pack, over the skill position, wide receiver, running back, quarterback combo of any team right now that fields a football team in all of college football. Guys, I lost some money. I'm pissed. I'm pissed because Michigan should have won by more than 35 and a half. They had a touchdown right there at the goal line. Donovan Edwards couldn't get in. Had done it. I put $100 on Michigan. I lost it, et cetera, et cetera. But next week, or next Sunday, even next Saturday or next Sunday, you can get going with BetUS, our preferred sportsbook partner. Go to chatsports.com/GoBlue. Use promo code GoBlue. No spaces. GOBLUE. You get 125% deposit bonus, and you get yourself a free Michigan football jersey. Go to chatsports.com/GoBlue. Use the promo code. Use the link. Use the promo code. No messing around. No, I just type BetUS into Google. Don't do that. Because if you do, you don't show up in the report, and it becomes a complete hassle. You go to the link. It tracks your account. You sign up, $100 deposit. Once you make your first bet, email us, jersey@chatsports.com. That's jersey@chatsports.com. And we will send you a Michigan football Jordan brand jersey. Not one of the cheap ones, not one of these Walmart ones. A Jordan brand Michigan football jersey. You put in 100, 200, 300, whatever it is, 125% deposit bonus, so you get way more cash to bet with, and then get a Michigan football jersey. It might be the best deal of the entire century. Chatsports.com/GoBlue. Use that promo code GoBlue. Back to the starting offensive line. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an offensive line savant. I didn't necessarily think Drake Nugent played terribly, but I've seen a number of articles and tweeters and people who are just trying to make overreactions out there. That's why this segment is called Overreaction Sunday. But what do you think about Miles Hinton? I don't know what to tell you about this this Stanford transfer, former 5-star offensive lineman. His brother made actually the Arizona Cardinals. Shout out to him. He left Michigan after 3 years, was undrafted, caught on with the New York Giants, didn't make that team. Now, a couple years later, now his 3rd year in the NFL. He's in there, and his brother is now the starting right tackle for the Michigan football program. I'm going to have to watch more on him. I thought there were times that Miles Hinton didn't look like he was getting the job done, and I expected more from a Michigan football offensive lineman under the Jim Harbaugh and Sherrone Moore dominating offensive lineman era. Next week, Michigan plays UNLV, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. I think that gives on CBS, right? It'll be Michigan's first game on CBS. Ohio State was on CBS for the initial CBS Sports against Indiana yesterday. Michigan gets a second shot at it with Gary Danielson and whoever else you guys might know. Brad Nessler on the call. That is next Saturday. Give me a score prediction. I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know much about UNLV. I haven't kind of taken that step into that. I'm just going to say, based on what I saw today, Sherrone Moore back next week. I'm going 51-7 Michigan. Give me your score predictions down in the comments. I was underwhelmed by Michigan's running back, and I had to explain to my son yesterday why Donovan Edwards didn't score a touchdown, why the Don didn't go 75 yards or 85 yards on every single run like he's accustomed to from the Ohio State game last year, right? 22 carries between the two, 110 yards. Kind of average. Blake had 7.3. He had one big carry. Donovan Edwards got really stuffed quite a few times. One touchdown, 37-yard long run for Corum, and a 14-yard long for Donovan Edwards. I thought it was kind of an underwhelming performance from Michigan's superstar running backs. How about the young stars on defense? The internet was abuzz about some of the guys who you didn't expect to be in the lineup early on that made some plays. By the way, I go shout out to John Blaze Wolverine. He won this beautiful Michigan football helmet. We did a raffle, $20 got you a raffle ticket. John Blaze, our biggest super chatter, and got 120 tickets or something, 110 tickets, raffle tickets. John Blaze won this helmet, so be sending out to him. Appreciate everyone who watched the live watch party on Saturday. You know, there was quite a few good players on defense. I'll talk about it in a second, but did want to give you guys just my thoughts on the injury report. Will Johnson, Michigan's best player on defense, probably the best player last 4 or 5 games of the season last year as a true freshman. Rod Moore did not play. Tyler Morris, starting wide receiver, we think was not in the lineup. Look, Frederick Moore, true freshman. Samaj Morgan, some guys that you didn't even really, most Michigan, the casual fans don't even know about their names, and others got into the game. So we'll see if Tyler Morris, after missing this week, if he's really healthy coming in next week, if there's more of a load management thing, will he be there? But I thought guys like Keon Sabb and others made it happen in replacement of those stars. Most notably, Keon Sabb in the secondary. Makari Paige played, guys, right? Okay, so I got some of the Michigan crew in the office with me. Watching the game live in the watch party, I was like, is Makari Paige in the game? He played. And Keon Sabb was next to him. But when Rod Moore returns, and he's clearly the better safety of the two, in my opinion, I'm not sure if Makari Paige is going to lose a starting job to Keon Sabb. I'm not sure. I thought Sabb looked like a Georgia kind of safety. He looked like a guy who would play at Alabama. He looked like a hell of a player, could run all over the place, is not afraid to just throw a shoulder into somebody and hit somebody. The defense in general was pretty decent. Ernest Hausman, Junior Colson, Keon Sabb, Michael Barrett, etc. There were quite a few players that made impacts on the day. I thought Ernest Hausman, as you guys may have saw in our instant reaction video yesterday, could he be in the starting lineup next to Junior Colson next week? I think Michael Barrett, even though he had 5 tackles, really whiffed on quite a few opportunities to make plays. Make sure you guys subscribe. We added 350 new Michigan football fans to our subscriber count, 27,300 strong now, heading into the second week of this 2023 Michigan football season, the national championship season. A couple records, right? So second ever watch party yesterday. We did in Super Chat, second best ever show ever in likes. And I think, Jack, it's actually the biggest ever in audience. I haven't double checked that. So I think it was the biggest audience. We did the watch party. We think we're going to do it again for UNLV this coming Saturday. I think we're also going to do it for Bowling Green. After that, who knows? I won't do it for the Rutgers on the 23rd. I'm actually going to go to the Ohio State Notre Dame game in person. A little personal hookup. I may or may not be on the sidelines. No big deal. We'll see if that happens or not. But if you guys want more Michigan Football Report content, a daily video, hit that subscribe button. 27,300 Michigan football fans. Cannot be wrong. We are the most watched show for Michigan football. Most watched, listened to, consumed. More audience than any podcast, radio show, TV show, YouTube show, and we're going to continue that this 2023 season. How about this? I saw this a bunch on social media. People like, Blake Corum looks slow. Blake Corum looks hampered. I was concerned a little bit, but I was like, once the game got started, I was like, does he look slow? I'm seeing this on Twitter. I'm seeing this up there. Is Blake Corum 100% healthy? I think so, but I don't know, honestly. He didn't have the cutbacks that we're used to. He had a couple nice moves, but I do think there was maybe a little bit of concern. Was like, is Blake Corum, you tear an ACL, people aren't the same after some of these big injuries. No yawning, Jack. No yawning, Jack. I pulled Jack in here at 6 a.m. on a Sunday. He's yawning. He was out at the club last night till 6 a.m. celebrating this Michigan football victory. 10 carries for Blake Corum, 73 rushing yards of the final stats, 1 touchdown. But look, almost half those yards came on 1 carry. So if you take that out, you've got 9 carries for 36 yards? So I'm not sure if I'm too super impressed with Blake Corum. We'll see what happens in the second game, in the third game. Maybe Michigan was going for more of a pass-heavy approach. Is JJ McCarthy just that good? Is it because Donovan Edwards missed spring that the passing game was a little bit more fine-tuned? Or is it because Kirk Campbell didn't have Jim Harbaugh? It's like a hierarchy of offensive coordinators. It's Harbaugh. It's Sherm Moore. And, it's Kirk Campbell now as the wide receiver coach. Is it because those guys weren't there? It was like, okay, let's go a little pass-happy. I don't know. Michigan seemed to be much more pass-happy earlier in this game. More passes in the first half than rushes, which is uncharacteristic for a Jim Harbaugh team. Last overreaction, and this is the one that's like, gosh, people are complaining about anything you complain about in the world, and that is cancel Peacock. Now, we did our own live stream, so I wasn't, right there with the Peacock. We had the game on the background, so I can kind of give you guys our takeaways. Of course, we were watching it, but also we were live on YouTube without the game. A couple things I noticed. One, they kept the wrong score on the screen for minutes at a time. Two, they went to just like we'll be back soon at halftime for like 5, 6, 7 minutes straight, which I thought was really weird. And then people were saying it was glitching and it was, slow and all this different stuff. So I'm really concerned here in one part of the internet, Jack. And you're going to see we're going to toss some complaints on there. You can roll through these every 10, 12 seconds here. In this day of the internet, and we're going to find out 1 week from today, is now the NFL Sunday Ticket is on YouTube TV and just regular YouTube. You can pay $350 and get every NFL game. Why do streams have to be delayed on the internet? I don't understand it. Okay? You can watch me on YouTube, and you can be literally 2 seconds behind reality. We stream it, you watch it. 2-second delay, no big deal. That's probably just YouTube being careful. I'm not even sure. But why, when you watch a game on TV, if you watch it on ESPN Plus or Peacock or the Big Ten Network streaming or the NFL on YouTube a week from today, why is it always 40 seconds behind if you watch it on cable? The internet's fast. You can't tell me the internet's not faster than the cable lines that have been there since 1987. I don't understand why it's so slow sometimes. I was concerned with Peacock is that, man, maybe a bunch of people are all going to try and like sign up for Peacock accounts 5 minutes before the game starts, all that. Maybe it would glitch, maybe it would crash. That didn't happen, but there were all kinds of complaints. At one point in the fourth quarter, Peacock sucks was like a number 12 Twitter trend in all of the internet. So people were not happy with it. I didn't notice it as much, but this is a big time overreaction. You see this guy, swing batter 72. Michigan football and Peacock is just horrible. Oh, my God. But luckily, I don't think Michigan's going to be on there the rest of the year. But because from what I understand, Big Ten teams only have to be on there one time. But that could be wrong. I haven't read the contract at all. But people are saying the performance of Peacock kind of sucked. Whatever you think about Mike Tirico, I think he's pretty good. He's been good to Michigan over the years. So we'll see how it shakes out. I'm not sure if Michigan's going to be on Peacock ever again this season. So if you sign up for 1 month, maybe you can cancel. But if you sign up for the year long, well, you got some Big Ten games. Enjoy Rutgers versus Maryland in like 4 weeks. I'm sure you can catch that on the Cock. Guys, I am on Twitter as always. I was tweeting out the highlights during the game. I was doing my post-game live reactions that we'll put on shows throughout the week. Jack, can we do this? It's Sunday. We haven't talked about this, but can we do 8:30 on Wednesday? You go with that? Okay. We're going to do live Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern. So we did okay, cool. We got morning, the afternoon, evening, everyone 5 o'clock Eastern. And so now we're going to test it out. Do we 5 o'clock Eastern or 8:30 Eastern? And so we'll probably try and stick with the time after that. So this Wednesday, 3 days from now, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we will be live for about 90 minutes, maybe as long as 2 hours with all the latest. We'll have a video for you tomorrow, our post-game Q&A from the audience, and then Tuesday, Michigan football news and rumors coming out of this game. Looking forward to UNLV. So make sure you guys stick with me. Enjoy your Labor Day tomorrow. So see you guys again. Go Blue.